Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to EFL Championship predictions for 12 massive Championship games this weekend. I am joined by Sophie. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not great, I'll be honest, considering Coventry's result on Monday, but
I didn't want to talk about it.
Once again, we don't have to just talk about Coventry, we're talking about the whole Championship here. Guys, last week Sophie did get the better of me in the Championship predictions, so you are now in front and you opened up a 3-point gap. Before we get into our predictions, do certainly feel free to share your predictions down in the comments. Let us know what you are thinking. While you are there, please do make sure to hit the thumbs up button. It is free to do and we have been smashing those targets recently. Let's go for 800 likes. Go on, get involved, hit that thumbs up button, and do make sure, of course, to subscribe as we are trying to push towards 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Can we do it with your support? I'm sure we can. Get involved, like, subscribe, and onto the predictions, Sophie. We're going to start at the King Power with easily the best game this weekend, Sophie. Leicester City versus Leeds United. Juicy fixture.
Massive game.
Yep, absolutely. Leicester City are top of the tree and they do not look like dropping any points anytime soon, but Leeds United are in third place and they're starting to gather a bit of momentum. I certainly make Leicester the favourites as the home team and the team higher in the table, but I do like Leeds United, and I think Leeds are probably one of the few teams in the division capable of getting something at the King Power. Leicester have won 13 out of 14 games in the Championship. It's ridiculous. They just about got it over the line against QPR last week. I thought it'd be more comfortable, that they snatched it 2-1 late on and helped out a little bit by a red card stupidly for QPR. Leeds United back to winning ways emphatically over Huddersfield Town. They got the job done in the first half. I said I make Leicester slight favourites, Soph, but I don't think it's a total surprise that I might actually go for Leeds United here. I think it's a bigger result here for Leeds to get it, because Leicester look like, even if they lose this for me, I think they're going up. But Leeds United need to stay on Ipswich Town's tails, and I do think Leeds can win this 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I can't not go for Leicester here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw either, because I can see this going either way. It's two really good teams going at it, but Leicester being the home side, I am going to have to lean towards them more. So it's going to be another 2-1 win for them. 2-1
to Leicester. I think it's the first time I've gone against Leicester this season, so I'm allowed to chuck one in there, aren't I? We'll see if that one comes in. On to St Andrews, Sophie, as Birmingham City take on Ipswich Town. Feel like this one pretty predictable. Pretty predictable, I must say. Birmingham City's form not great whatsoever. I don't want to completely blame Wayne Rooney, but it's not great. It's not a great look, is it? 3 defeats in 3.
No.
Ipswich Town continue to win.
I know.
3-2 against Plymouth Argyle last weekend in the Championship. And I think they win this one. I think you'll probably be more comfortable. Birmingham City just, I don't know what it is. They've clearly got good players because they had a decent start to the season. They need something to click pretty soon because they're starting to fall off it quite quickly. And I'm going to go for Ipswich to win pretty comfortably, 2-0.
Yeah, I've got to say I feel for Rooney here, because when he needs results, he's coming up against an in-form Ipswich Town. It's not a game that he'll be looking forward to. As you've said, he's not picked up a win yet. He's not picked up even a draw yet, so it'd be daft to back them in this one, so I'm going to have to back the Tractor Boys. 2-0. 2-0, same as me. Interesting, we're both going for the Tractor Boys. Okay, next up, Sophie, we're going down to Ashton Gate, where Bristol City take on Sheffield Wednesday. Bristol City getting rid of Nigel Pearson. Your thoughts on that one? I think that's harsh. They've got a lot of players out injured. It's not the manager for me, so I do feel for him. And I actually think a lot of Bristol City fans agree that it's a harsh sacking. Yeah,
I'm very I agree. It's not like the worst sacking I've ever seen, but it didn't seem necessary right now.
No.
I think Bristol City have been reasonably steady under Nigel Pearson. Maybe not inspiring, but just steady. And maybe they just wanted to freshen things up. Will that mean they get 3 points here against Sheffield Wednesday? Possibly. Sheffield Wednesday, Sophie, got a win.
Yeah, they sure did.
Big
win.
They beat Rotherham to keep alive their hopes of staying up. There's a long way to go, but it's the first step to a possible escape route. I would like to back Sheffield Wednesday to get something, but I'm going to be honest, Sophie. I think Bristol City having the home advantage and maybe a new manager bounce I think they might pinch this one. I'm going to go for the Robins to win this game 2-1, but if Sheffield Wednesday get something, I might back them next week.
Oh, we're teasing them. I feel like with Bristol City, you've got to account for all the injuries they've got. It's something stupid like 10, 11 injuries to their first team squad. They've got a very young bench. They're even having to play some of the young players. So, saying that, I'm going to have to back Sheffield Wednesday to get something. I'm not going to say they're going to get another win, but a draw isn't a bad result. So I'm going to say 1-1.
Yeah, no, I think a draw would be a good result.
It would be.
4 points in 2 games, maybe on the up.
Yeah.
Next up, Sophie, we're going to a team that certainly look like they could be in trouble this season, and that is Huddersfield Town as they host Watford. Now, 2 sides that have been, I don't know, struggling to get going, really.
Yeah.
And we did call Darren Draw when he was drawing all of his games, and now he's losing them.
Now it's Darren loss.
And they're quite heavy defeats as well.
They are. Yeah, it's a little bit worrying.
8 goals conceded in the last 2 games, and Watford have started to turn a bit of a corner, so I think they're looking, a bit better. They picked up some results. I think it was 2 wins and a draw in their last 3. So if they win this one, that's 10 points in 4. I think Watford win this. I won't go for Huddersfield to concede 4 again. I think they'll probably be working on the defensive side of things, but I think they will lose again. It's pretty hard to turn things around when those kind of results are coming in. I'll go Watford 2-1.
Yeah, Watford, as I say, they're not a bad team. They just look a little bit shaky at the back, but they're coming up against Huddersfield that aren't looking that good in attack, so this could be a fairly easy win for me. I'm not going to say another drubbing for Huddersfield, but a fairly convincing 2-0 Watford win for me.
2-0 Watford, yeah, both going for Watford there. Do share your thoughts on that one. Next up, Sophie, how about we go down to the Den as Millwall take on Southampton. Millwall, they've been a bit meh.
All right, yeah, just meh.
Yeah, they've been all right. I mean, obviously Gary Rowett went out the door. Haven't actually won since then, but they got a draw at Watford last week. Seems like they're showing reasonable signs, but maybe they've still got a few gears to climb.
Definitely.
Southampton, though, they're looking all right, aren't they? They've started to turn those draws and a couple of defeats into winning consistently. They beat Birmingham City last week, and I think they might pinch this one. I was tempted to go for a draw here, Sophie, because Millwall aren't a bad team, and they are at home. But there's something about this Southampton team which is making me think top 6 finish. It's probably because of the quality that they've got, and I think they win this game. I'll go 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to say a little bit more convincing for me. Recent weeks I've not been that impressed with Millwall, but equally they can be a difficult side to play against, so I agree that it could be a draw, but Southampton on their day, they have got the quality there and they can play some nice football, so I'm going to back them to win, and a little bit more convinced than you. 3-1.
3-1. Okay, interesting. Right, so next up, this is one hell of a journey as we go down to Home Park for Plymouth Argyle versus Middlesbrough. What an absolute, what a long journey. What a long journey for the Middlesbrough fans. But will they be rewarded? It's difficult, so
it is.
Middlesbrough have been in some fantastic form, but in the Championship they did lose to Stoke City last weekend at home. Now Stoke City have been in good form, let's give them credit.
Actually,
but yeah, Middlesbrough, they need to bounce back, and it's not easy going to Home Park. Plymouth Argyle have been pretty good at home. And they gave Ipswich Town a real go last week. They did. They made it hard for them. So I think this one will be close. 1-1.
Plymouth gave Ipswich a great game. They made it really hard for them when we thought it'd be a slightly easier game. So I feel like they're going to do the same against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have been in amazing form up until the last result against Stoke. So they'll be looking to get back to winning ways. But I can see this being an entertaining draw. It's going to be a Desmond. 2-2.
Oh, you go for the Desmond 2-2. I like it. That is a decent fixture. Plymouth Argyle versus Middlesbrough. Right, on to the next one, Sophie. Oh, God. We're going to Deepdale as Preston North End take on Coventry City. We need to get this one out of the way, Sophie.
I'd rather skip it.
For those of you guys that might not be aware, Preston North End are a bogey team for Coventry City. I believe we've never won there in the league.
Yeah.
We've never won there in the league, and we'll have been there countless times. you know, Coventry will be taking a fair few thousand away fans, and I absolutely salute them. Any Coventry fans at the moment, you know, going to home or away games, it's so frustrating. Coventry just can't seem to score, and we can't seem to score any points at the same time. I would rip your hand off right now for a 0-0. For a 0-0 draw. Give me a 0-0 draw, but I don't think we get it. I think Preston North End have been a bit hit and miss recently, but they'll look at this as licking their lips, rubbing their hands together. 3 points, and as much as it pains me to say this, I want Coventry to win, but Preston 3-0.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm going for a Preston win as well. It's these kind of games that your bias has to go out the window, especially given recent results. So I don't see us getting anything there. Even if we were in good form, I wouldn't back us to get a win at Deepdale. We just don't do it. I hate going against us, but I'm going to have to back Preston 2-0.
Yeah. Do you know what it is as well? I think Coventry will probably create a couple of good opportunities.
Yeah.
We just won't take them, and Preston will take theirs.
Exactly.
That is the way things are with Coventry City. And Preston, yeah, they're not a bad team, so I do think they'll win that one. Next up, Sophie, we'll go to the New York Stadium. This game is pretty big. Rotherham United versus Queen's Park Rangers, two of the bottom three locking horns. Now, Rotherham beat Coventry, but they missed a massive opportunity when they went away to bottom side Sheffield Wednesday and became the first team to lose to them.
Yeah, not great.
But how about this for a fixture to try and bounce back? They're at home to QPR, and QPR have been a bit stinky. But Gareth Ainsworth's gone.
He's gone.
Gareth Ainsworth has gone, and I wanted to quickly mention this. Now, Gareth Ainsworth hasn't been doing a great job at QPR, and I do like him, and I don't want to let my personal feelings for Gareth Ainsworth get in the way here, because ultimately the QPR fans deserve a bit better. But the timing of it was a bit strange. You're going up against Leicester. You were bound to lose that game, so why give him that game and then be like, sack him? 2-1 as well. You know, if they didn't have the red card, they might not have lost that game.
It wasn't that bad a performance.
Yeah. So, I don't know what to say for this one. Two sides that really, really need a win. Yeah. QPR, to be fair to them, have been better away than they have been at home, but Rotherham tend to be better at home than they are away. So this is kind of like both teams' strong suit.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think this will be really, really cagey. And I think this game will be massive come the end of the season, because one of these might stay up and the other might go down. I'm going to go for Rotherham 1-0.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this one for me really could go either way. I am more tempted to say QPR without Gareth Ainsworth. I feel like the players there now have a point to prove for their positions on that pitch. So I'm going to have to back them to win. But I agree, it's going to be quite cagey. So maybe like a 1-0.
Oh.
But no, I'm going to go 2-1 QPR. I see both teams getting on the score sheet.
Okay, 2-1 QPR. That's a difficult one. I was tearing my hair out predicting that. Do share your thoughts for that big relegation 6-pointer. Right, so on to the next one, and this is a really good one. Stoke City versus Cardiff City. Two teams in brilliant form. Yeah. Stoke City are beating all of the top teams at the moment.
Yeah.
Sunderland, Leeds and Middlesbrough in the space of a week. And they've gone from where Coventry were in 20th up to about 10th place or so. And I tell you what, I think it could continue. But let's mention Cardiff City as well. Their good form, you know, is returning. 2-0 winners over Bristol City last weekend. Enough to get Nigel Pearson the sack there. Really difficult to call. Probably fair if I went for a draw here, but maybe the home advantage counts for something, possibly. And I haven't backed Stoke much, so I will give this one to them. I'm going to go Stoke City, edge this 2-1.
I don't want to go against either team in this one. I'm finding this really hard to predict, but I don't want to sit on the fence. I'm going to back the Bluebirds. 2-1. 2-1
really?
Cardiff. Yeah, just because they're in good form. So are Stoke, in fairness. So it is hard to predict, but could go either way, and I'm going to swing towards Cardiff.
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit of a lottery with that one, because it does seem very, very even. Right, next up, Soph. This is the part where we went to Swansea City versus Sunderland, and annoyingly, the camera seemed to cut out for 30 seconds, and I've only just noticed it, so I'm recording this bit afterwards just to let you know what mine and Sophie's predictions were. We both actually went for the same on this one. Swansea City have been looking pretty good. They've been picking up some good results, and they got back to winning ways last week, winning away 1-0 at Blackburn Rovers. But Sunderland got back to winning ways last week, beating Norwich City at the Stadium of Light 3-1. This is a really difficult one to call. Maybe Sunderland slight favourites, but myself and Sophie have both sat on the fence predicting a 1-1 draw. Like I say, a really difficult game to call. Do share your thoughts on this one if you're a Swansea or Sunderland fan. And once again, apologies that the camera decided to cut out and I've had to re-record it. On to the next one, where we go to West Brom. As we go to the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion take on Hull City, two sides that have been pretty decent.
Yep.
Both only lost 3 games so far, both definitely in playoff contention. West Brom are 5th right now, and don't want to take anything away from them, but they beat Coventry last week. You know,
it's not a great result, really.
yeah, Coventry are just very beatable at the moment. No, honestly, I'm not going to take anything away from West Brom. Their results have been good. They've been collecting some good results, and it's like they're growing into the season a little bit. They have got the home advantage here, but Hull City are not a bad team, Sophie.
They're not.
And you got their prediction right for them to beat Preston 1-0 last week. Oh, I'm so down the middle on this one. I want to give them both a win. But I tell you what, a draw wouldn't be a disaster for either. I will go down the middle, 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I can't go against either side here. I do like Hull. I think that Philogene is a great player for them. They play some good football. But then West Brom, they know how to grind out a win as well. So really could go either way. And that's why I'm going to agree and sit on the fence. 1-1.
Yeah, both going for a 1-1 there. It's just too difficult to call. The final game, Sophie, is on the Sunday. And we have got Norwich City versus Blackburn Rovers. Norwich really not in great form. I'm really tempted to give them a win, but then I'm thinking, what's my argument for it? Blackburn, to be fair, they hit a bit of form, but then they lost at home to Swansea last week, which kind of came out of the blue.
That was a bit of a surprise,
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. So I feel very down the middle on this one, but I don't want to go for another draw. I might just give it to the home team. At some point, Norwich have got to turn this around.
They have.
And maybe it's this one, but there's not a lot of evidence, you know, not a lot of reason for me to give for Norwich getting the win, but maybe just eventually their players step forwards and get the result. I'll go for Norwich 2-1.
I'm going to go the other way, actually, just because Norwich, they're not in very good form. They've got to turn it around at some point, but I don't see them doing it this weekend. So Blackburn win this for me, 2-1.
And you're going Blackburn 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Both going 2-1, but in opposite directions. There you go, guys. That wraps up our championship predictions. Do make sure, of course, to share your championship predictions down below. If you've enjoyed this video, please do make sure to drop a like. We're going for 800 likes. Remember, it is free to hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed, do make sure to get involved, as we are pushing for more and more subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you for your great support. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you all in the next one. Peace out.